Well, good morning. It's Wednesday, October the 14th, and I'm grateful to be able to greet you again as we continue to try to do our best to connect with one another through these remote opportunities. There's quite a few things that are worth your time and attention in the email this week. I just want to mention a couple of them. First of all, tonight is Table Talk. Table Talk is going to run in a very abbreviated format, 5 weeks, but it starts tonight and it's all via Zoom. We have 4 great classes, and if you would like to check them out, it's not too late. Please see the announcement in the email for an opportunity to sign up. You'll also see there a survey. Our Durham Ministry Engagement Team wants to encourage and find out where people are serving in the community. So if you would take a couple of moments and just respond to that survey, I know that they would be grateful and it would help us. We are just coming to the end in this odd fiscal year of our first quarter, and our numbers in terms of giving, not surprisingly, are down somewhat. We would love to finish the year in a really strong position, and that's going to give us, in an uncertain time, a lot of help in terms of knowing how to think about next year. So perhaps since we're not in church together, we don't have those frequent reminders. Let me encourage you to participate as best you can in supporting our budget for this year as we enter this second quarter. Lots of things for us to pray about, and I want you to know about, because as a congregation, we excel in being in touch to encourage one another when we know about these things. Communication just becomes more and more important as we make our way through this extended and extending time of coronavirus when we are apart from one another. We don't have those usual ways of connecting with each other face to face on Sunday mornings or Wednesday nights. We are continuing to pray for those who are experiencing grief. Chris Barman says farewell to her father today by a remote funeral that is going to be taking place in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So if you pray for Chris, for her sister Debbie, for the rest of the family. Scott Hammond, many of you will know and remember Scott and Grace Hammond, a younger couple. Grace was here doing her PhD at Duke. Now they have moved out west. Scott's father, who was in his early 60s, suffered a heart attack that took his life last week, and of course has left the whole family stunned and in grief. If you know them, reach out to them. Let's all pray for the consolation of the hope of the resurrection to be theirs as they say farewell to Scott's father. You know about Joanne Hodgson's death. Let's continue to pray for Gracie. And we also want to continue to pray for Pam Penninger as she attends to her own mother, who continues to be near death. There are folks who are struggling with illness. I'll just mention Joe Oldham, who continues to battle a cancer diagnosis, and others who are recovering from recent surgery: George Arkey, Paul McKenna, David Crow, and Peggy Phelps. We're glad for the good prognosis that they have. And we want to invite you to pray for our 2 search committees. One, the Music and Worship Search Committee, chaired by John Nicholson, is doing good work in interviewing folks. And just a little bit behind in terms of process is the Search Committee for Congregational Care, led by Melissa Hardemink. If you know of someone who would be a good applicant to step into that position, please encourage them to apply or pass along their names to Melissa Hardemink. We want to celebrate a couple of things this week. One is I walked downstairs this morning into the Commons area, and there were some Durham Public Schools students under good supervision going about their schoolwork. We are so glad to be able to offer some space for these kids who are most at risk and need to be in a safe place for them to continue on with their education. We're grateful to God that that has worked out. And then secondly, we want to say congratulations to Holly Larson and Rich Ennis on the occasion of their wedding last week. That's about it for us. Again, take a look at the things that are listed in the email below. There's more than what I've mentioned to you. We encourage you to be in touch with one another and to love on each other as best we can. Keep in mind those folks who are unable to leave their places of residence. Give them a call, send them an email. Let's care for one another. May God bless you. See you next week.